me pull up
Okay,
D&D and Bond.
so last week, as I described, you all did some fucky things around in a crypt, found it was owned by someone else completely, and you also got your whereabouts to complete your contract. In doing so, completing set contracts, you have fulfilled the desires of what you need to do. Of what you're on the third base, I believe. Let's see here. You were on Necro Base 4. Interesting. Okay. Yeah, you were on Necro Base 4. So you've completed all the bases, and so all like the sub bases and all that, and you have completed your contract with Base 3 for the military,
Nice.
meaning you're allowed to move on to Base 4.
Hmm.
Okay.
Or accept more contracts at Base 3 or whatever. You're being issued to sent back there to turn in the final contract parchment, which will seal the deal for you to continue on. What happens is Corin and Rena, you leave the crypt behind. So you exit the crypt, and there you find Corona, who is on the deck, and Vivi, who is trying to get Corona's attention. What will you do, Rena?
Hmm. Gonna go up and wave at BB and hand him the materials I pulled from the crypt.
So as you walk back onto the ship, climbing yourself aboard, you hand over a fat stack of books and letters along with files that look very dusty, old, and cracked with time. Corin, not Corin, Corona, you have been handed a fat stack of papers.
Hmm. And do you want me to do with this?
Well, either you or I saw BB going through it earlier. I didn't know if you wanted it for research material, but I just figured I'd grab it while I was down there.
Hmm. How thoughtful. Yeah,
Ah,
I suppose I can look into it for you. And Corona's going to quietly go back to his room. Vivi looks like he's about to chase after him and stops. Thank you, Reina.
what?
He hasn't been himself for a little bit.
Kind of thinks. I would have no doubt being locked in that other plane.
Mm, doesn't really seem like that was the problem.
Hmm.
Oberon telling him that he was extremely frustrated with his antics and his chaotic behavior getting him killed was
Oh.
very distressing. So,
So he's been alone for a good part of the time?
he tends to put himself into solitude as of recently.
Ah, see, it could be a form of habit. We don't know what kind of chaotic things are going on the other side where he was. So it could be one of two things. Force of habit, or two, he's enjoying the fact that there's no possible. I don't know what was on the other side, but it could be a peace of mind now that he's back, or it's habit.
I suppose. Although I do know from my master that he has a tendency to be a bit more impulsive than he has been. I'm just concerned. That's all.
Hmm. Well, maybe. Hmm. Do you want to make him some food and surprise him with something to eat?
I can't cook.
I don't know if I can cook either, but I can definitely give it a try.
True. I just see things go into the pot and tasty things come out. Right.
She giggles.
I forgot what I named him. Fuck.
Parvish?
Tarvish. I'm sorry, I completely forgot. So, Tarvish pops out of the shadow and, like, holds your shoulders. Ma'am, I wouldn't let you in your kitchen even if I were dead.
Oh boy, okay.
I'm going to. BB's going to tilt his head. Tarvish, anyone ever told you you're a little stick in the mud?
Did anyone ever tell you that you're a reanimated cat that could die at any point in time and is possibly going to be rejected by a person's soul?
Yes, and yes. And I don't care, considering my master could probably melt you into a little puddle.
I've heard of many people towards Albion finding tabaxi a delicacy. Maybe I could scoot you off towards there.
Oh,
Please
come
do
on,
try.
guys.
Fine.
Look, look, get along. I mean, okay, and she looks at Tarvish. Okay, I do see your point. It's probably best to stay away from the kitchen. But how did you feel when I came out of the coffin? That capsule of sorts. And she looks at Tarvish with this question.
One outside of Tarvish, I gotta kill something real quick.
Kill something. Oh boy.
Okay, one moment. Sorry, I
Yeah.
had to kill. Sorry, I had to kill a bug.
Okay.
Now, what were you asking, Tarvish?
I'm gonna look at Tarvish and say, I know I've been gone for a long time, but perhaps you can find at a certain point you would understand how Vivi feels. How did you feel when I came out of the capsule?
Which time?
This time,
I felt a little.
dread.
I felt a little bit of joy, but also that it was expected.
Yes.
One can
Uh,
only feel surprising of joy every so often. Once something becomes rather repeatable, it's just a matter of waiting.
true. But perhaps the first time there is a little bit of you understand the joy, but also a little bit of dread and possibly fear of it happening again. And maybe never seeing that person again.
Ma'am, I understand where you're navigating to. However,
Yes.
I still don't want you in a kitchen.
Okay. I understand. I still hmm.
BB's going to shrug and make his way to the kitchen while you two have at it.
Well,
Where did the
what am
cat
I not?
go?
He's going to the kitchen.
Oh no.
I'm gonna follow after Vivi. I won't touch
He's
anything.
he's gonna halt you. Why don't you go check on Corona? I'll
Ah,
handle the cat.
be nice.
I
He's glad his
promise
master's
I
back.
promise not to skin him alive.
Well, and she just puts her hands on her hips and, like, gives him a stern look or attempts to. And she's attempting to give a stern look.
He gives her a head pat and then drops into a shadow sleeking between the cracks of the ship.
Oh boy, that's gonna go well. She's gonna go to Corona's cabin and just kind of give a tentative knock.
Okay. So, to start off with, I'll
We'll
go with the.
we'll start with the Corona. We'll start with the Corona scene first, and then we'll switch to the other one.
Okay.
Oh boy.
Corona is quietly reading the papers very diligently. He's paying a lot of attention to them. Um,
Would
hasn't
you
had a lot of writing material.
would you care to know what they say?
Sure.
So, you find that this crypt, long before it was found by the angel, was a crypt of the Skeleton King. Now, what you know is that this Crypt of the Skeleton King was meant to house the physical remains of that current body, meaning at the time the Skeleton King was more of an actual king, not even a god at that point. Literally a king. And you find that there is multiple researching and indicative and indicating that his ascendance to godhood was not natural. It was not a natural ascension from demigod to years of waiting and then slaying a god and taking its place or gaining enough strength to, or feats or whatever. That very much his rise to power was weird. It started just to happen. It wasn't ushered in. And you know that, reading from the text, that in this domain of kingship, that most of the texts don't go into the details of the history of the kingdom or anything of the kingdom had. However, you do know that the king themselves had a court of different people. And this court of people were his generals. One of them in particular being a bard. It was very interesting. He had mass, wild, magical power, and that's kind of where it ends on those notes. Another one was a great knight of pure metal and machine. Another one was made of ashes and constantly reproducing, yet decaying. And lastly, another one was a great, what they called back then, a merchant. It was more similar to a merchant now. What you would normally call them now is more of an aristocrat. But they were, at the time, a merchant slash aristocrat that had great depths and wealths of knowledge and archives. These four generals served under him, and after the passing of some event occurred, his physical body was stored here for a time. And the document goes into... Then there's another book that goes into that they couldn't locate the remains, but there is iconography of the Skeleton King scattered about the ruins, and that the only thing that is left now is two statues, one of the Skeleton King being of death, and one of the skeleton of a king. And that's it. Even the old crypt room where he used to house his body has been so aged by time that all the ruins and magic that once protected it or even guarded it is just done. It is an empty catacomb tomb.
All right. Raina?
Yes. She's knocking, attentive.
You hear an explosion from the opposite side of the door.
I'm going to just kind of barge in.
You see Corona swearing up a storm as he starts tossing fireballs into a trash can.
Blink, blink.
As you see the rip-roaring fireballs being cascaded into a barrel, fuming, not lasting long as they go on impact. They don't, like, set it ablaze. They're just powerful forces of fire cascading into this metal barrel. Boom, 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 boom.
Piss. What a time to not know. Whatever. I guess I'll live with Blight.
What in the seven blazes happened? Why are you... What did the barrel do? Is it a mimic?
No. I can't see.
You can't see. Wait,
Yes. You see, I can't hold on to the fire I make. I'm not a Ganassi. Unfortunately, I don't know how to use light either. So it makes reading in the dark a little difficult.
ah,
And I'm not stupid enough to actually set the room ablaze.
Could have lit one of the lanterns.
she just kind of blinks and holds out a hand and casts light.
Hmm. Are you offering your services as my personal lamp?
she just she just grins. Sure. Let me read along with you and not a problem. I miss reading. And you hear like a very desperate like part of her voice just saying she misses reading. Like this is her part and soul.
His eyes go wide for a second. Half kindred soul, half. Oh god, what have I done? All right, suit yourself. He goes ahead and grabs over a chair and puts it next to his desk, separating out the papers one by one in order of topic. I am interested. How much have you actually read of these?
I just glanced through them and she just kind of to help things, she casts light on her wings and spread them around them. So like literally the whole room is lit up.
You know,
And
showboating is only flattering if you're the one doing it.
she just kind of blinks. Sorry, I'm just trying to help.
Oh, I fancy this trick actually. And he's just looking around at the feathers. So are each one of them actually lit up? And he just plucks one. Hmm.
As
Is it
soon
actually
as you,
still?
when you pluck the feather, the light goes out.
Hmm. Fascinating. I will have to study that. In any case,
I've glanced through them, but I haven't read all through all of it. We did get a little drunk, but I was just not in a hurry to get my way out of the dungeon because, yeah,
so what was the dungeon like? I did not go with you.
there was a pool. I guess it's some sort of
You have
oh
a
God,
map.
goddess of creation or something like that. I don't know, but it seemed to bother Corin and Tarvish a little bit. And to be frank, I don't think I can accept any, what's the word? I don't think I can accept being under anybody's like, bound to any deity right now because I don't know. Hmm. Anyway, that doesn't matter. From that room, there was like a circle of blood or whatever, and Corin got sucked away to another room, which I guess he met a god.
That seems to happen a lot.
Eh, it does. Then there was like this poor blacksmith, and like I kind of feel bad for him. And he just makes weapons. Um, they came to an agreement to utilize the slimes and stuff, and
Blacksmith in the crypt of the Skeleton King?
he's making weapons.
Is that all he's doing?
Mm-hmm. He fixed Corin's sword, which got corroded by the aura of decay. Uh, let's
Why, of
see.
all places, would you set up shop there?
Because he's dead, and maybe he's quiet and likes to be left alone.
That's it?
Maybe.
Do we not know?
Mm-mm. Now that you're bringing these questions up, I kind of regret offering my blood.
He wanted blood.
Yeah, I asked him if there was anything he wanted, and he took mine.
You gave it to him?
Yes, because he was fixing a sword and helping us. I felt bad. He seemed tired. I don't know. We were pestering him, and he was fixing a sword for Corin, and you know,
How did he fix it? Do you
he's a blacksmith. It was the edges were decayed, so it was like dulled. So all he had to do was sharpen it.
That's what I would expect, but did you actually watch him do that?
We stood right there. Yeah.
And I just wonder what he used your blood for. How do you feel?
She just kind of tilts her head to the side. I mean, I'm okay. At
Hmm.
first, I was a little lightheaded, but that's normal with blood loss.
Um, Corona wants to do an insight on this whole situation.
Okay.
Hmm. Suspicious, but probably nothing. You got a 7.
You wouldn't be able to tell.
Hmm.
Well, maybe we can come back sometime and you can talk to the blacksmith yourself. I'm tempted to come back myself.
We in any hurry to leave?
She thinks. No, no, not really.
Okay. Well, after we look at this a bit more, why don't we just go back in?
And she seems to brighten. She's like, yeah. Oh, yeah. I did enjoy that a lot. You get the distinct impression she's just glad to be out and about and just exploring.
What needed more stretching, your wings or your legs?
She thinks. I think all of the above. I still can't fly though.
No.
Mm-mm. Wings are cramped in the capsule, I believe. I
Hmm.
gotta get the strength back.
Why don't you try now?
Huh?
Go ahead, try now.
She just kind of looks confused, but she just kind of starts to act like she's going to fly, expecting to fall flat on her face or ass, either one.
Corona's gonna go ahead and use levitation as no, not levitation, telekinesis as meta magic
Oh
with
no!
hidden spell.
Nothing happens.
As in, I can't use telekinesis on her.
I mean, you can. Okay, so use telekinesis. What are you doing?
I am lifting her up ever so slightly.
You do so.
See her face just instantly light up. And she's flapping her wings really hard. She's like, oh my god, I can fly! It's
Don't strain yourself, please.
What you looking for?
Nothing. Just to make her a little happier. I'm just gonna put her back down.
So you put her back down. You're now on the ground again.
She just kind of sits back down with Corona and she's just beaming.
But it's very helpful, isn't it?
Uh-huh. Show off. I know you
Over,
did something.
over to the other scenario.
Hmm.
So, Tarvish goes into the kitchen, seeing the cat kind of like just getting out a bunch of pots and pans, and then filling one with water, and just kind of standing in front of it.
I am gonna go ahead and say, once he went ahead and went to the kitchen, he did go ahead and cast simulacrum right away. just to help as kitchen staff. So, 2 cats.
What are you doing in here?
We're working. What does it look like?
No, you're a cat.
No, I have opposable thumbs. I'm a tabaxi.
You're trying to cook when you have no idea how to cook.
I'm a bard. I'm an artist.
Yes, yes, we all know you do music quite well, but cooking is something different.
Art all the same. I have an appreciation for it. Plus, as a bard, you could say I'm a jack of all trades.
He gives you a blank look and sighs. You can't cook. You said it yourself.
I've never tried to cook.
Allow me to cook then, and you can go present it to your master.
I am not the type to let others do my work for me.
Would you want to poison him?
Worse things have happened.
Whatever. He's going to slide away back between the cracks. As soon as you're beaming, Serena, as soon as you're beaming, Tarvish comes up behind you and grabs both your arms. Hello there, love.
Rona's eyes go wide. Okay. Hello, intruder. And it's nice to meet you. Welcome to my room.
I wouldn't say intruder. I am her butler of sorts.
Yes, but she knocked.
I don't have to.
Tarvish.
Not that I don't have a smidgen of respect for you, sir. You're without the... I have no idea who you are, nor do I think I care. This is
So you would
my...
barge into a stranger's room?
Well, yes.
Be gone.
No.
Okay.
What in the 7 hells? You hear Rada just mumble under her breath. What in the 7 hells is going on? And she's going over one of the books.
He takes up one of the pieces of paper and begins to read.
He's a baby. He's a baby. He is.
You do anything, Corona? Hello?
Corona lets out a large and deep sigh. If I hadn't made a promise to someone else already, I would have banished you with whatever spells I have left.
Oh, you most certainly may try, but I can assure you you can't.
No, I may not try. That's your very, very best blessing at the moment. Now please leave my room.
No. Sorry. I cannot oblige you.
I'm going to cast Wish.
You're going to cast Wish to make him leave.
Yes, I'm casting Wish to make him leave. Immediately.
Let's see. Can you make a save for this? Let's see.
Nope.
I need to read something right quick. Can you counterspell a wish?
Nope. Quote, Wish is the mightiest spell a mortal creature can cast.
So, as you use wish, you use upon wish to cast him out of the room. However, he slips into her shadow, and upon doing so, Reyna is then whisked away by a magical, thunderous roar of wind and is transported outside your door.
Okay.
I squawk.
And now I'm going to clean my hands and walk out of my room.
What do you do with the...
Was that so hard?
Well, it seems Mr. Staffy wanted to really have me out of his room. He
Well,
could have
it is
simply...
his private quarters.
And you were in them, ma'am.
Mm-hmm.
I am obligated to go where you are as well as your protector. Through your shadow or maybe at the floorboards.
I understand, but I think the only person that needs to fear anything is, well, nope. There's nothing to worry about. And she just waves a hand about.
Quite rude to force a butler with a wish.
Quite rude for you to walk into my room. Unannounced. And uninvited.
I have a pact, and that pact is stronger than your will.
If you say so. That's why you're out here. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm going back to the dungeon.
How flavorful.
Come along, baby. But I'm not done cooking yet. Let it burn.
We're going to go with Corona. Trail behind.
Tarvish is just going to slick into your shadow and kind of just float on the wall.
Also, for flavor, I'm gonna say that Vivi left the stove on the second that Corona said to let it burn, and there's just black smoke billowing out of the kitchen.
Yeah.
Oh god. What would be a useful spell to know?
Well, that wouldn't be the...
That a wizard...
That wouldn't really be the kitchen. That'd be more of the ritualistic area. So things may be summoned.
I kind of look at Corona. What would be a useful spell that a wizard would know? To know.
Well, what do you know right now? What are your strong suits?
A little bit of this, a little bit of that. Fireball, obviously.
By the way, Corona, are you wishing to use any of your powers today?
No. I'm quite content as it is. In fact, he's probably less keen to use them, given they tend to upset things being in balance as of recently. So, saving them for later. What you were saying, Raina?
She just kind of digs around in her bag and finds her spell book. And she just tosses it at him. And she just kind of shrugs.
Now, here's where I need you to roll me a Constitution save to see if you can read the legible handwriting.
Con save?
Yes.
Okay.
Since you're a sorcerer.
19?
You can read most of the spells.
Okay.
Par for the course, like maybe 2 9th level ones you can't.
Makes sense. I mean, magic is my specialty, so let's see. Do you have a lot of... want to do an Arcana check really quick on Reyna. Just to see... I know I can look at her page, but if I can understand... Oh, well, holy shit. That's a nat 20 plus 14 for 34, just to understand Reyna's magical powers.
Wait, what did you say?
I wanted to roll to understand Reyna's like magic, because Corona specializes in Arcana, and I rolled an Arcana, and have gotten that 20.
what do you want to understand about her magic?
Mm, source of it, as well as what she might find most useful.
Because as of right now, she's got
That's
a
where
true
you
resurrection spell.
that's where you find an interesting answer to your question. You can't the source of her magic doesn't feel right.
Hmm.
It doesn't feel natural.
Are you sure you're a spellcaster?
Hmm. I've been so for off and on. Well, that I can remember, which
Often.
isn't a lot.
So, in other words, don't know if you're a spellcaster.
No. Well, I just know, you know? Like, there is a deep part of me that knows that I can cast spells.
What you gain from the Arcana check is you know that it makes it feel like it's just wrong. It doesn't feel right. It doesn't feel like anything naturally occurring inside someone, magic wise. The second thing you notice is that it feels like there's a lot of squirming. Like there's a lot of stuff inside the magic.
Hmm.
Extra stuff. You're not quite sure what though.
Yeah, like an amalgamation. Hmm. Right. Well, he's going to look Reyna over twice. At the very least, you do seem like you, so that's enough for me. In any case, right, helping you out. You do seem to have a rather solid amount of offensive capabilities, right?
Hmm. And she nods.
Um, if I had to make a suggestion, it might be you're definitely a lot more durable than me. Um, you might want to invest into some closer range spells. Protect yourself.
Hmm.
Because you at least have a chance to. If something comes close to me, I'm dead.
No. She just kind of like realizes what you're saying. No, I don't want you dead. Everybody's been looking for you for a while. That's no.
You hear a light whisper in the air. She won't have to worry about close quarters when I'm around.
Mm, true. It was more of a better safe than sorry type of notion, but what else do we? How's your mobility?
Well, other than the lacking on flight,
You hear
it's
snickering.
I can I guess it's pretty average.
Shall I teach you something interesting?
Oh. And you see her eyes just light up and she nods really quick.
Okay, so how many spells can I offer to teach right now?
You want to be a mentor.
I mean, I looked through the book, I understand it, and the source for abilities was
So,
Jaina. So,
teaching, the way that I handle teaching in D&D is you can teach someone else that doesn't natively know a skill, so like a spell or a different skill, if you're an expertise within that skill. So,
okay.
you have to choose a spell that you are an expertise in, or that you have specifically within your character bounds, he knows inside and out. Skill, spell, or what have you.
Okay.
Once knowing that, it would take 3 short rests, or uh, 1 long rest and 1 short rest, or 1 long rest, staying up the whole night and not sleeping.
That's definitely reasonable.
Yours.
I would suggest.
I would say 1 long rest for spells between 1 and 5 in terms of level. Anything above requires 1 more long rest per level. So 9 would up to require at least 5 long rests repeated.
That makes sense. Probably best to teach at least once so you can get a good grasp of the skill, right?
Yeah.
How about kinetic jump?
Kinetic jump? She
It's a
thinks.
very interesting spell. It was taught over at a school. Maybe you've heard of it, or maybe you haven't, seeing as you've been inside of a rock this whole time.
Mm-hmm.
Strixhaven.
She kind of racks her brain. Does that feel familiar at all?
Does it?
She wouldn't know, really. Has it always been known as Strixhaven?
It is a very old school.
You recognize the fundamentals of a school being called that beforehand, but it was just starting out at the time.
Yeah, it's kind of like a familiar, like, recognize the name, but doesn't know anything else about it, that type of thing.
So a fun little out of character for D&D lore. Strixhaven is essentially D&D's equivalent to Hogwarts.
Oh
Yes,
boy.
in terms of out of D&D, in terms of this universe's Strixhaven, you'll find out more about that in the DLC campaign we'll be doing, but
Helpful.
the long and short of it is that Strixhaven around that time, when the Skeleton King was a king, not a skeleton, was just being built as a standardized use of magic teaching. Reyna would know about the standardized use of magic teaching at that time, but wouldn't know much beyond that.
Okay. So this would be kinetic jump. And Corona very eagerly goes ahead and displays to you a short use of the ability. Basically, it enhances your movement and you can phase through things a little bit, including other creatures.
Ooh, that's handy. What happens if
Categorically
you
from
phase inside of somebody and then, rephase?
Then he goes ahead and steps into Reyna as kinetic jaunt wears off. I'll take the 1d8 damage. He gets knocked back onto his ass.
Why did you do that? You could have just told me.
I'm a very visual learner,
Good to know.
but it should be pretty helpful.
And she just nods eagerly.
Yeah, I've got a few other things in mind, but I think that's a good place to start.
Very happy with this knowledge.
Now, I heard you laughing earlier. Did you have any comments to make?
Which one?
He's talking to Tarvish.
What did you ask him?
I heard you snickering earlier when I queried her about her mobility. Do you have any comments to make?
She has forgotten how to use her wings, and she may be able to fly in due time, but I snicker because she's more akin to a penguin right now than a angel.
Not a penguin.
Corona and Vivi both look at Reyna, contemplating and imagining Penguin.
You have memories of Gunter in your mind, and then you realize that Gunter's not alive.
Corona looks like he's about to cry.
What? Why are you crying?
I will protect you with my life. Now, let's go.
What? She's confused so much. But she follows.
All
Okay.
right. Into the dungeon we go. Do you remember the
La-di-da-da.
way to the black?
And she nods and she just starts leading the way
Okay.
Where are you going?
to the blacksmith.
Yes.
As you enter to the beginning of the dungeon, you are halted as a stone wall slams up, blocking your entrance,
Hmm.
with an inscribed being upon it. No entry shall be passed unless the crypt wielder, unless the crypt's protector wields it.
Corin?
Corin is asleep right now.
Mm-hmm.
He's asleep with Blueford on top of him, and Blueford's asleep as well.
That throws a wrench into things. I wonder how it knows.
And he just walks forward and she cups her hand or cups her mouth. We just want to see the blacksmith. That's it.
Nothing happens.
Do you have any transformation spells?
Let me look. I mean, I do have teleport. I've been in that room before.
That might work.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, a stone wall can't blockade us for that.
Yep. She's going to cast teleport to the blacksmith's
Make
area.
me a wisdom save.
Okay. 15, a 7, and an 8.
So, as you attempt to do so, as you attempt to even try to process that spell, you are hit with a psychic shock. It gives you an instant headache and migraine, an instant headache as you attempt to even focus on that location, as it is now scrambled in your brain. A purple bolt of lightning struck your head as the wall begins to glow, outlining in purple with gray brick, seemingly getting a bit tougher as it shifts in shapes, forming into the rocky wall, leaving behind the divots of the old hole, almost like solidifying itself.
Oh, that won't go over well. Okay. She kind of digs around in her bag and pulls out like a gold piece, and she sets it down as like trying to make an attempt of an offering, and then says again, "We just wish to see the blacksmith, nothing more. Nothing wrong. Just want to talk."
A blue insignia is scribed upon the stone. I wish to be visited by no one. Sleep in slumber is what I have asked for. Sleep in slumber is what I shall get. Seek out the protector of the crypt if you wish to enter.
He is very much asleep, and I didn't wish to disturb him.
The letters fade from the wall.
Corona's gonna lift a finger. Nope, no disintegrating the wall. Bad idea. Okay, doing it.
What are you doing?
He thought about disintegrating the wall, but Oberon's voice ringing in ears. No, not causing trouble. All right. My hopes were that the blacksmith might know a way to actually make a weapon that combats the Skeleton King, seeing as
Hmm.
he's literally living inside his house.
He could.
Moreover, those papers suggested that the scions, per se, of the Skeleton King, he likely has some knowledge of them at the very least. Would like to
Mm,
know who he is.
very much.
So,
But this is... Hmm.
I need you. Never mind. Different thing. Continue.
Hmm. I was gonna say this is not the first time my morbid curiosity has gotten the best of me, so I'll leave it up to you. Do you want to
Hmm.
head back, or do you want to actually try and pursue it?
I mean, we could always just pick up Corin and drag him with us. She giggles.
Touche. I'm not opposed to this idea. Vivi, you can carry Corin, right? I'm not all that strong. I'm even less strong than you, sir. Oh.
Mm.
Hmm. Hmm. And Corona's going to look at both Vivi and Reyna. I don't think any of the three of us could probably pick up Corin.
I mean, to be fair, possibly Bluford could just, go back to wolf form and be like, yes, I carry Corin.
Hmm. True. All right. We'll go with your plan.
As you climb aboard the ship, you find Bluford laying down on top of Corin, who is sleeping, who is also Corin is sleeping.
Bluebird. I still have treats.
He's not doing anything.
Come on, Bluebird.
Gotta try to wake him
Buddy.
up first.
Mm, I'm gonna nudge him.
I'll roll a constitution.
30-20.
He doesn't wake up. No, I'm saying I'm rolling a constitution for him.
Oh, okay. I see.
He's deep asleep. He got a 30.
Hmm. Honestly, he looks so comfy that's putting me asleep.
Roll me a
Hmm.
constitution save.
16.
You are now asleep.
I didn't know Corona knew Bluebird knows catnap. It's interesting.
Oh no. Gonna poke Corona and Corin and Bluford. Hey. Hello. Poke, poke. Oh no.
He's now waking up.
Hmm. Corona is licking Corin's ear in his sleep.
Look at Vivi. Is it normal to be gnawing on each other in your sleep?
Oh, yes. At least as far
Okay.
as I've known them. Although I'm never included in these piles.
I just look at Vivi and I grin. I step behind him and just kind of gently shove him into the pile.
Who are you shoving in the pile?
Vivi.
VV, you're now shoved into the cuddle pile.
Is everyone still asleep?
Bluford is asleep. Corin is asleep. Corona is asleep.
He lets out whiny cat noises. No, This is not what I meant. Reina, this is inexcusable.
Clem! She
I
looks
am not the
really
type to take
confused.
advantage of people when they're sleeping.
And she just looks at you. It looks cuddly, don't it?
Oh dear. We're supposed to be waking them up, not putting all of us down.
So, what you all gonna do?
Oh, wait a minute. Vivi knows a spell for this. This will be fun.
He goes over to Corona's feet and she's like, I'm sorry, okay, hold on. And she starts tickling his feet.
Corona Roman Constitution.
Okay. Oh, a 12.
You wake up. Your feet are getting tickled.
It's Reina?
What are you doing? You're tickling Corona. I'm tickling you to wake you up.
I didn't know you were into feet. What are you doing?
I'm not. She looks appalled. I'm not into feet. I'm just trying to tickle your feet to wake you up. We tried, but you wouldn't wake up.
Did you try anything else first?
What else is there? I tried poking you and you wouldn't wake up.
Looks at Vivi. Is this true? I don't recall.
Baby!
Also, why are you in the pile, cat? Vivi is going to just slink out of the pile, sadly. Vivi gets head pats from Corona, though. It's okay. Ask next time.
It's my fault. I pushed him in. He wanted to be included. It was
And
inclusion.
Vivi, in cat fashion, plops his head on your thigh.
On mine?
Yes.
Aw.
For inclusion.
She pets,
Fine.
she pets Vivi's ears.
Corona looks at Reina. Fine, he can be your cat. Jeez.
No, it's a cat.
Now?
Did you just meow at me?
Now?
Oh no. You're Corona's cat, not my cat.
And without saying anything else, Vivi is going to use knock on the floor.
The floor breaks.
Oh no!
And it can make a sound that is loud and audible from as far away as 300 feet.
When that sound happens, Blueford wakes up. However, he's so scared that he uses stealth. And he's so good at stealth that he ricochets himself into another dimension,
Oh no.
taking Corin with him.
He'll be back.
Oh.
Eventually. Oh dear.
Now what will you do?
Okay, plan B. Gonna blow up the door.
You like blowing up things, don't you?
That is my specialty.
I mean, I guess you can try.
And Corona and Vivi make their way back to the door. Let me try one thing before you blow up the door, sir. And Vivi is going to use his disguise kit and make himself look as much like Corin as possible.
Oh
This
no.
fails. The god has seen through your disguise and is enraged. Upon doing so, he thickens the wall and then slams it into the mountain that it is in. Upon doing so, shutting the mountain's walls in front of the wall that leads to the inside of the dungeon and crypt, making it thicker.
What did the outside look like?
A rocky mountain.
Perfect. Let's see. Corona is going to move to the side, not the main entrance. Let me see the map. Do you remember which chamber, or at least how far back the blacksmith was?
Mm-hmm. And she nods and she points to the map, and it's
See the room with a sword in it?
yeah.
That is the deepest part. That is the deepest level of the crypt, going down into the planet.
Okay. I'm going to aim at not that exact room, but the most ground level room in line with where we are currently outside.
Okay.
And I'm going to use Disintegrate.
Use a make me a wisdom save.
Okie doke. That's a 6.
Oh no.
Oh no, friend. See, what happens is a bolt of purplish light shocks out and hits you in the forehead. Upon doing so, scrambling your brain, making you lose concentration. Upon doing so, though, I need you to make me another wisdom save to see if you lose control of your magic.
Nope,
Oh, no.
that's a 5.
You said that's a 5?
Yep.
Uh-huh.
What does disintegration do again?
Disintegrate.
Then gray ray springs from your pointing finger to a target you see within range. Targeted by the spell must make a dexterity saving throw and fail. The target takes 10d6 plus 40 force damage. The target is disintegrated if this damage leaves it with 0 hit points.
Make me a dex save.
Who?
Okay.
Wait, who's making a dex save?
Him.
That's
Okay.
fine. That's a 5.
Okay, I'll roll your damage.
Thank God.
You got hit for 50 damage as the disintegrate recoils back onto your hand, up your body and torso, frying your nervous system in your right arm.
He lets out a shriek. That hurts less and less every time.
That happens often?
More often than I'd like.
You now have a numbing feeling up your whole right hand and arm. You can still touch and feel things, they just feel numb.
That'll be fine after a rest, I suppose.
Stands there thinking. Dear God.
Do you have
Okay. Not to get us down there.
You're pretty worse for wear right now, sitting at 20 health.
24.
You see Rena think, and she casts a wish spell again. But this time, instead of learning, to resurrection, it's mass cure wounds.
What are you wanting to wish for?
Okay, I'm wishing to know the spell Mass Cure Wounds.
To know it, or how to cast it?
To know and cast.
Those are
Because
two
you can,
different things.
well, the wish spell can be used to duplicate spells.
Mhm.
But I'm asking because a wizard is they read knowledge, so you
Mhm.
can duplicate a spell, but I'm asking to learn or know. Choose one. Both get you the spell, but have different consequences of how that spell will function with you. Knowing it means you don't need to use your book to cast it. So it's a part of you forever, but you can't teach it to others. Learning it means it's in your book, but it's bound to your book. You can teach it to others, but it's bound to the book. So if the book dies, you don't know it anymore.
I'd say know it so that
You now know Mass Cure Wounds. Add that spell to yourself, either through notes or otherwise.
yay. Would I be able to cast it right now, or
If you read it from your book, you can. That's the whole thing that a wizard's about. You gotta read from their spell book.
so I have to wait until tomorrow then?
No, you can use it right now, but you have to read it from your spell book. Can you use it right now?
Okay,
Yes, just gotta read it from the book.
all right. I'm just gonna cast Mass Cure Wounds on.
What level?
Mm, just probably 4th level.
Okay. How
Or
much?
just whatever.
How much is it getting healed by?
Let me try to get that in there.
Mm, 3d8 plus spellcasting.
Modifier.
Yep. So plus 5. 3d8 plus 5.
Okay.
Since you have a 20 intelligence, yeah. I have 2 questions for you.
Yes.
If you could just wish for whatever spells you wanted, which I understand fully, why did you ask me what I thought about your spell?
18. You heal for 18. Hmm? Oh, because I like learning.
But you can know whatever you want to.
Yes, but I can only use wish 1 time a day.
I guess I doubled the efficiency.
Yes.
You know what?
Uh,
That's a valid
plus,
point.
plus, it's I'm learning, interacting. And she just kind of scratches the back of her neck.
He smiles. As stupid of a reason as that is, that's the same reason I saw. Good job.
She just grins. You heal for 18, and she just kind of twiddles her thumbs.
Now, my other question is why would you use it on a spell for my dummy?
Mm, I've already learned. I already know True Resurrection, and now I know Mass Cure Wounds.
Hmm.
What wizard do you know knows these things?
Truth be told, I don't know that many wizards.
Exactly.
These are good points. Darn it. I'm losing arguments already. In any case, though, we're still at square one. Can't get inside. And it sounds like he still does not want to be disturbed.
Mm-mm. We'd probably have to wait for Corin.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, him and Blueford are somewhere else? Question mark.
Yeah. They'll be back eventually. Hopefully. Probably not.
Do they do this often?
Not them, necessarily. Blueford does.
And
And Corin has a tendency to find his way into nonsense. As do I.
she just grins.
Anything else that we can see from here? And Corona's going to turn away and try and figure out where the heck everything is. Aside from the ship and the mountain.
Yeah.
Anything else of interest with a perception check?
Where are you at?
We're off the ship, but outside of the cave.
So, there's not much of interest besides mountains here and, like, desert. I mean, you still have a duty to go back to base 3 and cash in your contract for your next one, but...
Might as well go do that. Shall we head back?
We're gonna end the session early tonight, so we stop
Okay.
here.